Have you ever wondered what really makes a hotel stay perfect? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the invisible engine that powers every great hotel, the engineering department. These are the unsung heroes making sure your stay is flawless, and we're about to go inside and see exactly how they do it. So just think about it for a second. The best hotel you've ever stayed in. What was it that made it feel so perfect? You know that feeling of just seamless comfort? Well, I can tell you, it definitely doesn't just happen by accident. The real story is way more complex than you might think.
It's all the little things, isn't it? You walk into your room and the temperature is just right. You turn on the shower and boom, instant hot water. Every light switch works, all the sockets charge your devices, and you just feel totally safe and secure. These things feel like magic, but they're not. That feeling of everything just working is the result of a massive 24/7 operation. It's a whole team of people, often working right under your feet, that you'll probably never see or even realize are there. And that team is the hotel's invisible engine, the engineering department. They're the absolute powerhouse keeping the entire property running. So let's take a look at how this machine is actually put together. Okay, so from a bird's eye view, the whole department is basically broken down into 3 tiers. You've got the leadership at the top, thinking about strategy. Then you have the supervisors, who provide that deep technical oversight. And finally, you have the technicians and operators, the folks on the ground with tools in hand getting the work done. It's a classic, efficient chain of command. Let's start right at the top, with the brains of the operation. These are the people responsible for the long-term strategy of a huge, multi-million-dollar property.
At the very peak, you have the chief engineer. Now, this person isn't just a super handyman, oh no. They are a master strategist. They manage the entire department's budget. They plan for massive capital expenditures. We're talking things like replacing a giant chiller system. And maybe, most importantly, they create the preventative maintenance programs. You know, making sure the AC is serviced in the spring so it doesn't die in the middle of a July heat wave.
And this right here is such a great way to understand the leadership dynamic. You've got the chief engineer, whose head is in the next year, thinking about budgets and big picture planning. And then you have the duty engineer, who is laser focused on the next 8 hours. They're the field commander, dealing with immediate guest calls, emergencies, and whatever the shift throws at them. It's the perfect blend of long-term strategy and immediate tactics. So, sitting just below that top-level leadership, you find the specialist squads. These are teams of true experts, where each one is a master of their own critical part of the hotel's ecosystem. First up, the electrical supervisor and their team. I mean, think about it. They manage everything that runs on electricity. The main power grid coming into the building, the massive backup generators that have to work, and yep, every single light switch and power socket in hundreds of rooms. Their job is quite literally to keep the lights on. Next, you've got the HVAC supervisor. HVAC stands for heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, but you can basically just call them the guardians of comfort. That amazing blast of cool air you feel when you walk into your room on a hot day, that's them. They are wrangling a massive, incredibly complex system to keep you comfortable. Then there's the plumbing supervisor. And trust me, this is so much more than just fixing leaky faucets. They are in charge of a huge web of pipes that carry everything from the clean, high-pressure hot water for your shower to all the drainage from kitchens and laundry. They're preventing disasters you never even knew were possible. And finally, we have the civil supervisor. This team is all about the building itself, its structure, and its look. They've got carpenters fixing furniture, painters keeping every wall and ceiling looking brand new, and masons maintaining the physical integrity of the building. They make sure the hotel doesn't just function flawlessly, it looks flawless. Okay, so while those specialists are focused on their systems, who deals with the urgent, unexpected stuff? You know, the random call from a guest room? That's where the frontline responders come in. These are your 2 a.m. heroes. We mentioned this role before, but let's really focus on the duty engineer. This person is the quarterback of their shift. When you call down to the front desk because your AC is making a funny noise, that call goes to them. The duty engineer figures out what's wrong, gets the right technician on it, and makes sure the problem vanishes quickly and quietly. And this is basically how it works in real time. It's a beautifully simple and effective process. A guest calls, a work order gets logged, the duty engineer dispatches the right person for the job, an electrician, a plumber, whoever. They go fix it, and then the duty engineer follows up to officially close it out. Problem solved. Of course, none of these frontline guys or specialist squads could do their jobs without a really solid support backbone. There are a few key roles that keep the entire engine oiled and running without a hitch.
And right at the very center of it all is the maintenance coordinator. Think of them like the air traffic controller for the whole department. They take in every single work order, they log all the data, they keep track of maintenance schedules, they're the communication hub that connects engineering with housekeeping and the front desk. They are the organizational heart of the entire team.
And you absolutely cannot forget these other key players. Deep down in the basement, you have plant room operators, who are basically captains of industry, managing the hotel's massive machinery. You've got the fire and life safety officer, whose job is to maintain every single alarm and sprinkler, a role with absolutely zero room for error. And more, you have IT technicians, who manage all the high-tech stuff like your keycard access and security cameras.
So as you can probably tell by now, this department does way more than just maintenance. Their true impact on the hotel's bottom line and its reputation is just massive.
Because when you boil it all down, every single job we've talked about, from the chief engineer planning a budget to a painter touching up a wall, they all share one single unified mission: to ensure the comfort and safety of every single guest. That's their North Star.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Their success is measured by their invisibility. If everything is working perfectly, if the environment is flawless, then you, the guest, never have to waste a single second thinking about the incredibly complex machine that's humming away just behind the walls.
So here's a final thought. The next time you check into a hotel and you walk into your room and everything is just right, just pause for a moment. Listen. You might just be able to hear the quiet, steady hum of that invisible engine making it all possible.